Olusina Bolarinwa is a Nigerian who has over 24 years experience in building construction in Nigeria and some parts of Africa, especially on panel system, building, drywall, and roofing. In Canada, building up played a big role setting him up for the trade unions. With the help of a very family-like staff, he proceeded to study Glazier at the Finishing Trade Institute, or FTI. After his graduation at FTI, he proceeded to Local 27, where he became a journeyperson with the Carpenters Union. Some of his international certificates and years of experience was helpful with his qualifying examination with the union. His resilience can be linked to the epitome selfless character displayed by building up staff. Bola, how are you doing, sir? Welcome.
Thank you.
Really excited to have you here, sir. So let's just jump right into it. How long have you been working in construction?
I've been in construction for like 24 years now.
Okay. And when did you come to Canada?
That was sometimes July 2018.
July 2018. And can you talk a little bit about what was your experience migrating to Canada and leaving Nigeria?
Well, no, not really sweet experience. One thing leads to another, and I think I find it as a necessity to leave then. And my journey to Canada was sort of unprepared for. According to the situations that brought me here, really got me unprepared. And well, thank God I made it at last to this land, and I'm here. It wasn't really a sweet experience.
Yeah. And can you talk a little bit, because being away from your family is not hard, like, you know, that migrating process. Can you talk about what it was like being away from your family during holidays, birthdays, and other special occasions?
Well, not really good experience away from family, and I think it has been a very serious situation that mouth cannot really experience, especially when you have a loving and caring family back home that you did not really have a time to prepare their mind of the journey and stuff like that. And when you have a younger one calling you, like your little baby calling you, "Daddy, when are you coming back home? Why are you so far from us?" and stuff like that, it really breaks me down at times. But well, I'm here already, and all I can do is just to find my level and stabilize my life again and move on with lives here until they join me. So it has been a sleepless night at times, and well, thank God for the grace of God. I'm still waxing stronger, console myself, and hoping very soon everybody is going to be together here, and that have been my circum.
Okay. When you came to Canada as a refugee claimant, please talk about your work, your experience looking for work.
Well, I sincerely want to say this because I've been to few countries, especially in Africa, and I know Canada is just outstanding in preparing the ground for newcomer, and part of their programs really is the stress of reintegrating to the society, and it makes it more easier. But the only problem that newcomer can face is the issue of challenges of information. When you don't have the right information, you hardly take a right steps. So I think most of the problem most newcomers are facing is the right informations. So that will really, hasten their plans and make them actualize their purpose on this land. Information is the real key thing.
Can you give an example of when you say getting the right information? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, well, from my own experience, when I got here, I know what level I was operating, what position I was living back home. I was living a company with official car, heading a department on building constructions, drywall. And when I got here, the information I had was, you have to go to the factory, you have to go and do a security job, you have to go and do all these that I can never imagine myself doing my life when I was home. So, but so many people don't know that if you are a professional back home, you can still, transfer your knowledge here and be useful for the society and, easy migration from what you are to what you want to become. So the link between what you were back home and what you want to become here is the vital information that would really propel you to become what you want to become. So if you don't have the adequate information that will lead you or guide you towards the journey to what you want to become, I have a lot of professional colleagues that are in the factory now, struggling to make per hour and stuff like that, not even thinking that it is easy for you to program yourself, study the right courses, and tune your journey towards back to what you were used to, what you were you have been doing for years back home. So the information there is really the key thing. Some people don't really have that information. That's what I mean.
Okay. And what advice would you give to a newcomer that is trying to make it into the construction sector in Canada?
Well, like adage says that nothing good comes easy. Some people will believe because I'm a doctor back home, then I want to come here and start practicing the doctor profession here. It doesn't really work like that. I'm an engineer back home, building engineer. I want to come with my certificate from my country and start practicing the engineering here. It doesn't work like that. Well, any job you're looking for, you're searching for, they need Canadian experience, which will enable you to at least function well in the scope of the job you are given. And the experience you have back home is not enough for you to operate adequately here. So you need a kind of, when I came newly and they were talking about Canadian experience, I said, what? I've been doing this for years. I've built for so many dignities back home, and high level construction is what we do back home. But when I now started studying here, see the way they do their things and the environment and the way to deal with people and stuff, is a whole lot of different things. So which anybody want to really function well has to understudy and understand very well before you can really be functional here. So Canadian experience, I believe it's really needed for you to function in any capacity. So, and that is what I've gotten.
And what kept you hopeful during the process of your career journey in Canada?
Well, what's kept me hopeful? I know there are a lot of people that really been here before me 10, 15 years ago that have been doing what they were not really doing at home, that diverted their earnings, their income through another means entirely, which was not what they were doing back home. I sample the percentage of people doing that. I know that they are not fulfilled because that was what not they are used to do. And I now say, okay, I don't want to live the way they are living. I have to find a way, get back to my track. That is where I will function. That's where I can perform. And I have to sacrifice that because I know that with little sacrifice, you can still get back to your track. Like, for instance, when I came in here, I studied for like, out of the first 12 months, I studied for like 11 months. 11 months of responsibility back home. I have to send home money every month. I have to be responsible, pay my bills here. But I have to just, skills everything together to make sure that I learn, I read, I change my status here. Like, it's not my old level of operations that I'm still carrying here to search for job here. And in the end, I know that, yes, I'm up to the task now to go to the labor market and search for job. But some people cannot sacrifice that. They believe, okay, if I am just doing a security job, that is a good job, but is that your profession? Is that what you know how to do? Okay, you are having a per hour job or whatever now. Is that the way you want to continue your life? Are you contented with that? So you have to ask yourself the questions, where am I now? Where am I in next 5 years? So if you have a project in your hand that, okay, this is what I want to do, and this is what I want to become in certain time, then that will really keep you going. So that was my focus. That was my hope that, okay, even if I survive now, even if I study now, I don't have much money now. When I get there, I'll have the money I needed. So I need to understand the environment and the the system first. So that was my hope.
Okay, thank you for that. Like, I think that so someone is really trying to reach you there, Bola. Like, I hear your phone going off there. You're a wanted man, it seems like. So in terms of, I'd like to talk, if we can talk a little bit about some of the challenges you found getting into the construction sector as a refugee claimant.
Well, as a refugee claimant, I believe government has done their own part, sincerely speaking, to reintegrate professional into any trade you wish here, except you don't have the information. Because when I came, a lot of job was seriously introduced to me. You can do this, you can do that, you can do care job, you can do security, you can go and work in the factory. But I know what I was. I know what I want. I know what I want to become in the next 5 years. So if you seek information, you get information. So like the slogan of this city says, a place to grow. So if you seek the right information to lead you, to guide you to a better place, then you have it. So when I got here, it was like a zero level again, where you have to start all over again. It appears like that to every newcomer. What will I do? How will I start? But you need counsel, you need to read, you need to consult people that are informed about what you are really seeking for, not giving seeking opinions of those people that don't know their right from their left. So they will lead you astray. Some people are in the straight land suffering, lamenting all the time because they don't have a right guidance. So if you want opinion of someone who will really guide you, you need someone who knows, not someone who does not know. So that really helped me to say, okay, I have to create a month to really make research. I've consulted a lot of school. I've gone searching for a great, leverage between where I was and where I want to be. And that was why I am here today.
And for folks who don't know, if someone is a refugee claimant, can they be hired by a union?
Yes, it is possible. See, like what I said about governments doing their part in reintegrating people into this society, is that there is no law or a specific order that if you're a refugee claimant, you cannot be hired by a union or a trade. No, that's not in Canada. The government has made it easy that, okay, if you're a professional lawyer back home, there are a lot of stipulated courses you have to do to get yourself back here as a lawyer. Then if you are an engineer back home, this is what you should do to practice here. So if you want a trade, you want to be a journeyperson, it's just like your experience back home is not a wasted effort, because it really helped me. Yeah, it helped me. My almost 24 years experience in building industry really helped me to attain whatever I've attained, whatever I've gotten out of the union now. I was tested, I was, I went through some examination and stuff like that, and they found me worthy that, no, the experience you have is above just starting from scratch. And I was giving what the right thing to give. So, and that really, really helped. I want to advise whosoever is coming as a professional, you have to ask questions. You have to sincerely create time for knowledge. So if you have the right information, then you won't go astray. So that's my point on that.
You did construction in Nigeria. How was the transition to doing construction here in Canada? And if you could just unmute your phone here, yeah?
Okay. Oh, sorry. Well, it has really been a wonderful experience. It's part of my excitement about working here. Back home, the way we do things is slightly different to the way we operate here. And when I got here, the first thing you need to understudy is how is it done here, like a technological advancement we have here that we don't really need or we don't have there, because like here there's so much high rise buildings which we don't really have so much in Nigeria. And where they have them, there are a lot of professional that are handling high rise, but me, I don't do that before. So this is my first experience of seeing, engaging in such construction. So, and it is just from a kind of seal and will that, okay, I want to learn. If you don't want to learn new things, then you won't grow. So when I got here, I give myself to study, to training, I just put the level at which I was operating in Nigeria aside and say, this is a new land which you need to learn the way they do things here. And I think that really helped me. Some people want to live in the glory of, yes, I am a manager, though I manage a whole department in my former company in Nigeria. But when I got there, I have to, start almost all over again. And because I give myself to learning and details, at least it really helped me.
Can you talk a bit about how did you hear about the Building Up program initially?
Yes, well, part of my research when I was seeking knowledge to know what the right direction I should go, one of my neighbors just called my attention to the training in one of our discussions. And I said, well, if this institution do this, do that, I think that should be good for me. I have like two other couples of institutions that offered me admission to come and study building technology and stuff like that. But I sincerely need a kind of leverage between me and union. Don't really want to go for common, just any certifications, just like I want to have diploma and that's all. No, I needed to really have the relationship with union. That's why I said, okay, if they will expose me to union, which I can make my options, I can decide and choose my options among what they will, exhibit in the process of the course. Why not? So I got that information from a neighbor.
And can you tell us more about the air condition project at Toronto Community Housing that you managed through Building Up?
Well, it is the operation of the air condition is a we thing. It's not me solely managing it. I have some superior, I have some subordinate, but though my position there is critical because we have several kind of projects going on at the same time. Like we have 5-6 projects a day that we have to go throughout, different areas of the city to do the same thing. So, and thank God we have qualified hands, like each individual supervisor that is managing each site. I was just like an overall supervisor that goes from, one site to another to see what, if need be, to see how to resolve some issues arise, and we put head together to resolve them. And well, we've not stopped working since, and we are doing our best with the support of my superior, and everybody's putting their effort together to make sure that we satisfy people during this COVID and make sure that at least they are living in peace in their houses. So it has been a wonderful experience.
And how did you find your experience going through the Building Up program?
That's a wonderful question. Well, considering my former experience where I worked, like I said, I managed the whole department, which I have like 45 workers reporting to me. And getting to building up, I can remember a period of a time I was given a test, like a mathematics test, to come and, part of the qualifications requirements. When I did the test, they said, no, you overpass. You can't even you can't partake part of this test. You can't go through the class. You are over qualified for this class and stuff like that. Well, because of my past experience, I was even insisting. I did mathematics last in like 20 years. So you can't say I'm not qualified to do. I want to learn more. They said, no, we'll call you when it is your time. So that has been my experience. It's like, somebody who is managing a whole entire company, and you are now saying, okay, come and do these little things. So, well, I have to humble myself and make sure that I put in my best. It's not by saying this is what I can do, but when people see you doing what you are made of, then so, and that is it. Then the experience has been a very wonderful one, coupled with the family like staff that is really in the company. It has been a wonderful experience. Everybody works harmoniously, and everything is going good. Yeah.
You mentioned just now, like humbling yourself. Was it challenging going through a pre-apprenticeship program such as Building Up, especially since you had so much experience in the construction industry in Nigeria?
Well, it is a relative term anyway. If I see it challenging, if I see it like it's a problem, then it's my problem, not the institution problem. Because in as much you have decided to do something, a lot of issues that will come up that you need to know that is part of the processes. You don't see it as a problem, because if you see it as a problem, you're out of the game. But you see it as a learning process. There is even a baby in the womb. They are comfortable where they are, and when they are coming to art, they feel uncomfortable because of the environment. But gradually they get used to it, and before you know it, they are part of people on art. So now, because of the kind of calibers I deal with before, I work for high-end people. I work for like the former president of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo. I was the one who handled his projects when it was about leaving the seat of power, a retirement home. And those are the calibers I work with. Goodluck Jonathan, I built his house, the roof and everything. So those are the high level calibers I operated then. But, like when I got here, Building Up taught me how to, get used to everyday people, going from one room to another to see different kind of people, different kind of tribe, different kind. So that really gives me a new idea, new challenges to understand their needs. You get to some apartment, you don't even understand their language. You have to use sign, you have to do all sorts to communicate to them. So that's dynamic. That's a very good, experience, which I don't really have before, because I was tactically operating before, not really doing it hands-on and doing it myself. I have people doing it for me. So here, I got to do it at times when things cannot really move. I have to be there and do it physically. So it's a very, very nice experience with the understanding boss that I have. So it's been a very wonderful one.
After you graduated the building up program, where did you go after that?
Well, when I left building up, I got to go to FTI. That's because I don't really have much knowledge about glazing windows, window doors, and stuff like that. And I wanted to know about it because if you really want to supervise a kind of a maintenance, structure maintenance, building maintenance, you have to know all aspects of building. So what I do back home is to subcontract the Glazier part of my project to other contractors that deals solely with windows and glazings. So now, when I got here, I see that most of the building around here have form of glass, especially the high rise. So I say, okay, this country, you have to really understand how do they do all this high rise building with this heavy glass and stuff like that. So that gave me a challenge. And I said, okay, after the building up project, I will go there and say, and do a kind of research and understand the way they do it. And when my caseworker in building up will just suggest that to me, I say, yes, that's what I need. I need more knowledge about that. So that was how I ended up there.
And how long were you at FTI for?
That was 4 months course.
4 months. And then
Yes.
what does FTI stand for?
Finishing Trade Institutes.
And for folks who don't know what a glazier does, can you talk about what exactly is a glazier?
Okay, Glazier is just, I can say, is a kind of exposure to technology of glass framings. Like you have a window glass, you have a door glass, you have a design that is structured with glass. So those are the details you'll be taught. How to handle glass, how to form a frame, how to cut the glass, how to, do any kind of structure, any kind of frame with glass, both doors and windows. So it is a whole bundle of experience, and it's a nice one. Nice one.
Okay, so and then you stayed there for 4 months, and then you shifted over to Local 27. Why did you make that shift over to Local 27?
Well, thank you. My attention has been on Local 27 right from time. In fact, after the building up training, I ought to have gone straight to Local 27. But because if I have gone there, I wouldn't have that time to go and understudy the processes of that glazing. That was why I said, okay, let's look at 27 step first. I will first do this, and it will be part of my experience. I didn't want to choose it as a career. I just want to widen my knowledge because I don't really have that knowledge back home. So, and to hear that they make more glasses in the high rise, then yeah, I think I need to have experience about that. So after finishing that, in fact, they were offering me a membership of the Glazier Institute. I said no, because I know that that was not my target. My target has been a carpentry union, where I have all the scopes, all the departments where I can choose to work and operate smoothly.
And how long have you been with Local 27?
That's about 14 to 15 months now.
And what role or how did your union, Local 27, make a difference in your Canadian status?
Wow. Well, it was really awesome. They sincerely supported me, and they gave me a letter. The union lawyer wrote me a very strong letter in supporting of my claims before I went for my hearing, and I know they are instrumental to the success of my hearing, because they gave me a very strong letter which was in support of my claim. So they played a very vital role in my hearing.
Okay, and what is your current citizen status?
I'm a protected person, so I've been approved.
Okay, awesome. And what is your current role at Local 27 Carpenters?
Yeah, I'm a journey person now, and well, I'm very active at the union level, attending all the meetings, you know, getting all the mails and all the rest. But I'm currently working with building up, and well, I have a very good status with union, with Local 27.